Good evening. I'm the Reverend William Stanton, priest in charge at St. Albans Episcopal Church in Windsor, Colorado, and I am coming to you from my deck here in Greeley. I'm going to swing this out and just show you what a beautiful day it is out here. There's barely a slight breeze. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining. What a glorious day that God has given us this day. We are continuing with our journey through the Psalms, and we're about a third of the way through, just a little more than a third of the way through. As you know, the Psalter can be read in many ways. It can be read individually. We read them every Sunday during our worship service, whether or not it's morning prayer or evening prayer or Eucharist. It's part of the liturgy of the Word, and it's generally a response to the Old Testament lesson. Or the Psalms can be read as part of a spiritual practice. Many people like to read the entire book of Psalms throughout the entire month, and it can be done if you break it out in sections. For example, 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. Our prayer book, the Book of Common Prayer, allows us to do that. And they have divided the prayers up so that in any 30-day cycle, we can read through the entire Psalter. So this evening, we're starting with Psalm 59. And Psalm 59 begins on page 665 of the Book of Common Prayer. And we're going to read Psalm 59 and 60. And 61. 3 Psalms for this evening. And so let us just quiet our hearts as we enjoy this beautiful day and settle ourselves to hear God's holy word, which is the Psalms, the song of God. Psalm 59. Rescue me from my enemies, O God. Protect me from those who rise up against me. Rescue me from the evildoers, and save me from those who thirst for my blood. See how they lie in wait for my life, how the mighty gather together against me. Not for any offense or fault of mine, O Lord, not because of any guilt of mine. They run and prepare themselves for battle. Rouse yourself and come to my side and see, for you, O Lord God of hosts, are Israel's God. Awake and punish all the ungodly. Show no mercy to those who are faithless and evil. They go to and fro in the evening. They snarl like dogs and run about the city. Behold, they boast with their mouths, and taunts are on their lips. For who, they say, will hear us? But you, O Lord, you laugh at them. You laugh at all the ungodly to scorn. My eyes are fixed in you, O my strength. For you, O God, are my stronghold. My merciful God comes to meet me. God will let me look in triumph on my enemies. Slay them, O God, lest my people forget. Send them reeling by your might, and put them down, O Lord, our shield. For the sins of their mouths, for the words of their lips, for the cursing and lies that they utter. Let them be caught in their pride. Make an end of them in your wrath. Make an end of them, and they shall be no more. Let everyone know that God rules in Jacob, and to the ends of the earth. They go to and fro in the evening. They snarl like dogs and run about the city. They forage for food, and if they are not filled, they howl. For my part, I will sing of your strength. I will celebrate your love in the morning. For you have become my stronghold, a refuge in the day of my trouble. To you, O my strength, will I sing. For you, O God, are my stronghold and my merciful God. Sometimes it's hard to fathom as Christians the psalmist's want for destruction of the enemy. And there's two ways to look at this. We can look at it historically and look at what the psalmist was going through, what the people of Israel were going through at the time. People who were under attack, people who were, they were oppressed by the Romans, and before that, they were God's chosen people, but they were nomads wandering in the desert, and they were people who other tribes were always attacking. Kings were always attacking. They had their years of peace, and we get our praise psalms in those times. But there were days and times when they were just attacked on all sides, and I can see their pleas to God. But there's another way to look at the Psalms, and this came from the bishop who ordained me, Bishop Rob O'Neill, who said, when we read the Psalms, look and see what are the enemies within us. What are the enemies that keep us from God? The enemies of our own sins, the enemies of our own doubts, the enemies of our own possible addictions, all those things that keep us from seeing and truly knowing God. And read the Psalms from that perspective, in that lens. So when we talk about our enemies going to and fro in the evening, what enemies in our lives? Our own enemies, our own demons, come alive at night and go about to and fro in the evening, who howl when they are hungry and are not filled. Just a good way of perspective of reading the Psalms in this day, in the year 2020. And now let's go on. Psalm 60. O God, you have cast us off and broken us. You have been angry. Oh, take us back to you again. You have shaken the earth and split it open. Repair the cracks in it, for it totters. You have made your people know hardship. You have given us wine that makes us stagger. You have set up a banner for those who fear you, to be a refuge from the power of the bow. Save us by your right hand and answer us, that those who are dear to you may be delivered. God spoke from his holy place and said, I will exult and parcel out Shechem. I will divide the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim is my helmet, and Judah my scepter. Moab is my wash basin. On Edom I throw down my sandal to claim it, and over Philistia will I shout in triumph. Who will lead me into the strong city? Who will bring me into Edom? Have you not cast us off, O God? You no longer go out, O God, with our armies. Grant us your help against the enemy, for vain is the help of man. With God we will do valiant deeds, and he shall tread our enemies underfoot. Again, reread that psalm from the lens of our own deep enemies within each and every one of us. For with God we will do valiant deeds. It is God who will tread our enemies under our feet. And now Psalm 61. Hear my cry, O God, and listen to my prayer. I call upon you from the ends of the earth with heaviness in my heart. Set me upon the rock that is higher than I, for you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. I will dwell in your house forever. I will take refuge under the cover of your wings. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have granted me the heritage of those who fear your name. Add length of days to the king's life, and let his years extend over many generations. Let him be enthroned before God forever. Bid love and faithfulness watch over him. So I will always sing the praise of your name, and day by day I will fulfill my vows. In our Bible study this morning, we talked about the vows we make with God. Vows that Abraham made to follow and trust God in all his ways. And God said, if you follow me, take that step of faith into the unknown and trust me, I will make you the the leader of a great nation, the father of a great nation. And Abram did. In our vows, we take our vows of baptism. So let us honor our vows to seek and serve Christ in all people, to strive for justice and peace, and to recognize and to respect the dignity of every human being. And let us vow always to thank God and to trust in God in all ways. Let these be our vows to our Most High God. And now, beloved, I'm going to let you go and enjoy this beautiful night. If you have a deck or a place where you can go outside and just be with all of God's creation, I urge you to do that. They don't get as pretty a night as it is tonight. And so may God bless you. May God keep you. May God let his countenance shine upon you always. May God put his angels' charge over you and keep you safe this night. Have a blessed evening, beloveds. Amen.